why you cut me too deep? I think I'm dying here, man.
Welcome to the 3B Video Deep Cut Podcast.
Watch a few movies, take a few notes. It was fun.
Aw, yeah, it's that time again for another bi-weekly podcast with your hosts, Rotten Roger DeMarco and...
Evil Dead Ancient. You take one of mine, I'ma take all yours, Raj. All of them.
Yeah, start with this movie. You can take it. Nah, it's...
Yep. We're talking Leatherface, and no, not the one we already talked about, and we're talking the prequel. No, we're not talking about the other prequel we talked about. This is a new... We're combining Leatherface and prequel, and bam! New movie.
It's a new prequel that's newer than the new prequel, but not as new as the new direct sequel, which is not a prequel. Or it's
The latest one that we'll do next is like the one we did in 2 weeks ago. It was like 3D. It's kind of like that one. It's once again saying no other movie happened after the first movie, but this movie, I think.
Yeah, so with all that humbly bumbly jumbly hooplery out of the way, Evil, you want to give the good folks out there in internet land a brief plot synopsis, and then we'll get into this. Yeah.
I mean, Leatherface, the second prequel that was made, released 5 years after the last movie, but made in 2015 and just sat on the shelf for 2 years and just waited for the right time. This is a bizarre one because this is a movie the wife has no recollection at all of watching, and when I was trying to think, I have no recollection of buying, but I got it.
Somehow, some way, it ended up on your shelf. It is the White Noise 2 of Texas Chainsaw films.
It is, because even rewatching it, the wife's like, I can see why I didn't remember any of this. This is not good at all. But we tried to take another route of giving an origins to Leatherface, but we're gonna swerve bro you on who it's supposed to be. Even though they show you in the cover by body size, it can only be one of these two guys, and it sure as hell ain't the other one. But we're gonna show you the most origins we could of Leatherface, and this time he's a regular guy for the most part.
And he is a Sawyer?
He's we're back to Sawyers.
Okay.
They try to do some serious deep cut shit in this, because I believe they try to bring in the Hardesties is like the name attached to one of the two, and like the boy that's in the truck in the opening sequence. So they're trying to do like some Hatfield McCoy shit, like the Hardesties and Sawyers have been at it since the beginning of time.
Yeah, been feuding for years.
Yeah.
There's a lot to say about this movie, man.
Do you know how in the world it came into your spectrum? Because I was trying to think today, gearing up for this, and like, how did I even hear about this movie?
I saw a trailer on like Bloody Disgusting or something, and then one day it was at Walmart on DVD for like $9.96, and I went, well, you can't not buy it, right? So bought it, and
how bad could it be?
Right, that's exactly my thoughts. Was it can't be that bad, right? We've had it.
Yeah,
so this, in that aspect, like, compare this to The Next Generation. It's not that level of bad, but it's bad on a different level, because it's this weird, it's like a road movie, like a road on the run, weird, like I don't know, like escaped convict movie, but not fun, like Fled or something like that,
It's definitely a road chase movie, but I think it hits in the bad aspect of Next Gen is bad because there's so much like weird shit, like plots that go nowhere, things that come out of nowhere, characters that are over the top, and scenes that are goofy, and dialogue that's bug nuts off the walls.
Are you referring to the one and only Bupe?
I am referring to this movie. You just watch, and and nothing sticks. I don't know what it is, but nothing sticks.
It's got a weird, like, white trash, Rob Zombie-esque version of Natural Born Killers that's not artsy and Oliver Stoney.
Oh, it's very trying to be. They're taking another shot at the Devil's Rejects motif of we're gonna make the bad guys good and the good guys bad to a degree.
That only works, on very rare occasion, and it doesn't work here.
No, it doesn't work here, and it's again that's the first time they've even tried doing this. We get little Leatherface in the middle of the road for reasons in a
He likes to
cow
spook people, yeah.
in a cow carcass, which causes a couple to almost hit him, stop, and they're like, "Hey, kid!" And then for whatever reasons, the female in the truck really takes a foot chase to try to catch this kid to see if he's okay. I would just, once he's left the road, and like, I'm gonna get back in the car now, and we're just gonna go.
We're leaving, yeah.
But she insists on following him to a barn where she falls in a money pit style floor trap.
Yeah, saw trap. White trash saw trap.
Where they throw like an engine block on top of her. For again, they don't really put the cannibal aspect in here. They're just killing. Group of kids just killing because they're bored, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
That just happens to be Steven Dorff from Blade and The Gate.
The Gate.
He's the sheriff of the town, but that's his daughter, so that sets him off on a, well, you're going to take mine, I'm going to take all of yours, because apparently they know the Sawyers through and through in this town. Like, they're just, oh, that's the Sawyer clan. Dirt people.
Dirt people. Mountain man.
Yeah.
We do get the one thing that I did like in this movie, which I didn't like in the beginning, and I didn't like in Next Generation, is just that it wasn't a dinner scene, but right there at the beginning of that birthday scene, I was like, seeing Grandpa like kind of do the wink and nudge. I'm like, this is okay. So
that felt like 2003.
Yeah, it definitely did. But when I was watching this for the first time, because I'm going to go back to that, like my first initial...
You can remember it. I'm impressed, because I couldn't remember mine either.
I can't, because I've only watched it twice. I've only watched it twice.
Same.
So
the day we bought it, and then for this review.
Yeah, then this week.
That tells you everything you need to know for a movie made in 2017.
Yeah.
It's 2023 right now as of this recording.
Yeah. This movie's 5 years old, and that's weird also. But, just my first initial reaction when it was at the dinner table and Grandpa was there, I went, okay, maybe we're on to something. Because that opener was rough with the girl, that whole thing, like you said, for reasons she follows this kid. It's like shoehorned stupid. But we got the dinner, or the birthday party, and I'm like, maybe. But then we see Leatherface's mom, and I hate that fucking actress. I hate her. The girl from The Haunting and whatever else.
Conjuring.
Yeah, The Conjuring. I cannot stand that woman. And so I was like, crap.
Wow. She's okay. She fits into the family well.
She does. She does a good job. I just don't. She's always like got her. I don't know. Her lips look like the trickster's lips from Brain Scan. And her face looks like it's stretched over a fat skeleton, and she's always crying, and I hate it. I hate it.
Wow. Well, didn't know that you felt that way about this actress, but I'll make sure to keep that in mind for the future when anything we come up with that we talk about that involves her. But I was going to say again, and in this movie, they're going to try yet again to be like, Leatherface is going to be the character you're going to get all the facets to. You're finally going to get the reasons as to why he is how he is. And to me, it boils down to like he has one line when they're in the diner where he's like, says he wishes he could be somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's about the closest we get. But still,
He's like third string quarterback.
8 goddamn movies. And he is still probably the least interesting person on screen. People who are not in the family, just people that are going to die later, are the more like compelling people to watch, and the more getting an emotion out of you type people to watch. The crazy couple, our burned up girl Clarice and skinhead boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they're great, but they still they are way outshining.
Yeah, they're like Mickey and Mallory.
Yeah, what Leatherface is doing. And even though it's straight on the cover and it's been done before, but I guess I was totally hooked in the aspect of thinking that Bud?
Yeah, the heavyset kid.
Yeah, that they portray as like that's gonna be Leatherface because he looks like he could be a young Leatherface. He's built like Leatherface, walks like Leatherface.
Yeah, he makes those like.
He makes noises. He's the first one to be like, yeah, let's all climb into a cow corpse, which love to see how that worked out. I don't think how all 3 people could fit in one cow corpse. They're not that goddamn big.
Yeah, especially that dude and then 3 other people. Like,
yeah,
he's pretty big. He's a big guy.
Big, but even he, I can see. You can see him turning into Leatherface. What is weird about that he's not, and the other guy ends up being Leatherface, is it feels like they've realized that in the final, 20 minutes of the movie. Mm-hmm. They're like, shit, he is a articulate, very good-looking young guy. How the hell did we get him to this spot? We've made this whole movie, and he's not that guy.
He has to lose his mind when the heavyset kid gets killed, for, whatever reason. That's his breaking point. And he goes completely off the rails, which brings me to the other thing. That it's in the damn title. Leatherface. We always expect a mask. We expect some sort of Leatherface-esque, the thing that is Leatherface. You have a mask, an apron, a chainsaw, and how you feel about said Leatherface kind of revolves around those things. It's like Jason, his look is going to change a little bit from film to film, but everyone has their favorites. Boy, what's going on with his look that they give us at the end of this movie? We wait a good hour 23 minutes and then they're like, oh yeah,
and this is an hour and 27-minute movie.
Yeah.
It's under 90. And yeah, they're like, oh shit, what are we gonna do? So he gets shot in the face like Jack Nicholson in the Joker from Batman 89.
Yeah.
And somehow the Verna, is it Verna Sawyer, the actress you hate, her another character named Verna?
I think it's Verna, yeah.
Yeah, she has made up a leather strap mask that will hold his face in place, so now he's got a constant drool and shit. And all of a sudden now he's got the walk and everything down. I will give him this though. This has the most sense making for why he decides to pick the face he does for the mask. This is this could be the origins of the pretty lady mask. Mm-hmm. Because he likes the nurse. Yeah. I think he has nothing against the nurse, but I guess like every other movie, once you start talking shit on Mama, that's when it's crossing the line.
Yeah, he has to go full-blown heel, turn into the villain, because they spend a lot of this movie every time he opens his mouth, which to me, they're trying to make him sympathetic, but he comes across like a whiny little bitch throughout the whole movie. And, you know, again, the skinhead dude is like the tough attitude. You know, the heavyset guy's the muscle. And so the whole movie, I'm just thinking like, God, you're like a baby. You're a baby. Just, this guy's got to get killed. You know, I just keep thinking that, and then he becomes our Leatherface. But
it's a Spider-Man level leap. For
it
him
really is.
To go from what he is 90% of the movie to what he has to be at the end of it. Lead villain, I think, is totally Clarice, though. The burned up chick that's with skinhead guy, which I thought that was a weird twist of all of a sudden at one point in this movie it turns into necromantic.
Yes, it does. Direct-to-video necromantic.
They do. They're on the run. They find a RV that's broke down out in the middle of nowhere. They go inside and there's a dude that's hung himself in the bathroom. So at some point they move him from the bathroom to the bedroom, and then the two crazies start tagging each other, and she is really bringing the corpse into the act, being the third party. So like, I've seen this movie.
Yeah, but it didn't spend 45 minutes talking about eggs.
True, and I still don't know which one I think is better.
They can all just burn on a funeral pyre, you know? Sacrifice to the gods. Put some pennies on the cover.
And you mentioned it back when we were doing Next Gen, that breasts are kind of a weird thing to see in this series, and we kind of get it here. We get the Fred Krueger breasts. Oh yeah. There's no
nipples or anything because it's very heavy burn scar makeup, which is really odd. To me, that whole sex scene thing is very shoehorned. It's just like checking a box for the audience, you know. Hey, how about some boobs? Because the Texas Chainsaw franchise was never really about that, ever.
No, it's the only one that feels weird that it's ever in there.
For a movie with Chainsaw and Massacre in its title, like the franchise, you would maybe expect more nudity. But the first one sets the tone, and there's never really, it doesn't make sense for sex. But I guess, these kids that are on the run and they're, not taking their medication, which is the other thing we allude to, like, she knows their medical charts. She knows if they don't take their medicine, they're going to turn psychotic or whatever, which the skinhead and the girl who looks like she's from one of the doll-faced people from The Strangers, they're already, like, clearly psychotic, even with the meds still in their system. So, I don't know what miracle pill the Sawyer boy is taking, but he's like...
I know that shit don't exist at that time. Like,
oh, no.
Even just seeing that they have labeled him, like, that they labeled Bud as bipolar, I'm like, was that even a thing that was established in this?
In, like, the 50s or whatever?
Yeah, in the 50s, like, in this still, like, an era where they would just hit you with a hammer, and they're like, he's good now. He's taking his medicine.
Yeah, ice pick to the corner of the eye.
He suffers from the cuckoo-ness. That's what it is. That's the technical terminology, what it is right there.
Yeah, they're shocking them, putting them in ice baths. Yeah. They're doing stuff like that.
What's this do? I don't know. You want to turn it up? Let's turn it up.
Let's find out, yeah. We're going to figure it out. But yeah, they have this miracle pill for the Sawyer boy where he is completely lucid, 100% normal, so normal that, like, he's more normal than Steven Dorff or any other, like, regular people in this movie. He's painfully, like, perfect. That does not exist. There's no medication on planet Earth. It's like, it'll be in his system for a good 48, 64 hours, and then all of a sudden, he's gonna sew his fucking face on. Like,
what's it say on the back of the pill bottle there? Like, caution, and like, side effects may include gunshot to face and car rolling over. If car rolling over, definitely notify your doctor because it may lead to cuckoo dirt people craziness.
Cuckoo dirt people craziness. That's perfect.
That's what is suffering in here. And we get it from Jump Street when we get the Halloween level, like, breakout of the crazies, which is a fun to have a spontaneous blowjob sequence going on during that. And like, Who is this for?
Why not? You know, again, very Rob Zombie.
Yeah, but
Color palette too. Weird color palette.
oh, they love that color palette in this movie, which kind of gives it the 50s feel, but nobody feels like they're in the 1950s.
No,
Like nobody feels like in Back to the Future 1950s.
Right, like Steven Dorff is smoking his like blue, whatever that is, e-cig that he was the
he's on the
sponsor for. Like 1950 e-cig. Like that's the only thing we're missing is some weird ass tech being in there to be like, this is not the 50s.
The nurse ollies in on her skateboard. You're like, what it is, yo?
Yeah, boy, I'm gonna go to the Galleria or whatever.
And that'd make a more interesting aspect if she like was sympathizing more with those two and was like on their side, but she's just roped in with the two crazies as hostages. So they're like, you three are gonna be our hostages to help get us to Mexico. And you know she's not going to survive because it's a prequel. How the hell can anyone survive?
Exactly.
And then, yeah, I guess it's just called Leatherface. It's not really Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So I was gonna knock on like, yeah, what do we have? 2 chainsaw deaths? We have Steven Dorff, which looks pretty rough because I can really like he was slumped over on that couch pretty fucking deep. And I was like, oh yeah, that's his head just sticking out of a hole in the couch, and a really fake ass looking body sticking out underneath it. So practical, but looks rough.
I think all their budget went to those, 50s era cars, and probably to get the Conjuring Lady.
Conjuring Lady and Steven Dorff. I know they filmed.
Dorff's money. I bet he was like $20 a day, man. He isn't doing shit. He is not doing shit. It's cool to see him back. I was
living
glad.
well. He's living well off that Limp Bizkit rolling money. Yo, Red Cap.
It was nice to have him back, but again, like recognizable faces, whether it's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, is kind of a problem, at least for me, because I feel like we talked about it when we talked about the first movie and how the second movie suffers from that. For us, like the first movie feels gritty, grimy, documentary-esque, like almost like you shouldn't be watching it. It's real. And it helps when you don't know anybody.
Nasty.
Yeah, especially if you're watching like a 7th generation dub, you're like, this could be real, man.
Yeah.
But with this, it's very much a movie, and that'll take you out of it a little bit. And we spend a lot of time with the whole road movie motif, and my biggest gripe is it takes far too long, like, for Leatherface to even be Leatherface. Like you said, it's like the last 4 minutes of the movie. Like, well, that's our payoff, but you get it, so you're a little bit excited, but like, I had to wait 94 minutes for that, or whatever it was, 84 minutes for that. Like,
yeah, heaven forbid if you had to get up to piss in that last 20 minutes, you come back and like, what the hell happened? How long was I gone?
This guy's Leatherface? Where's the fat guy?
You would think like, is this the right theater? Did I walk into the wrong theater? This is I'd be nudging people like, this is still Leatherface, right? Like, this is not another movie that started. This the right theater, the right time. Who am I here?
And this movie also suffers from the curse of this franchise, where it gets over, and you go, okay, well, where do you go from here? Well, the logical step would be that Texas Chainsaw Massacre 74 is part 2. So then you would pick up with a new part 3. But audiences are dumb because they're casual audiences, and also because this franchise is so fucking muddy. So you would have to make a new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which then negates it even being a prequel to the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So then you're back to square one. Let's do it again.
I mean, once you've done 8 movies and they've been in every which direction, I feel it's almost freeing when you get to like, well, what are we gonna do next one? Shit, we can do whatever the hell we want. I was like, not a single one of these movies previously is tied to anything else. Like, it's loose at best. If anything, they're nods and winks to hardcore fans, which even those, if you're not looking it up, like if I didn't look anything up in IMDb, I wouldn't even know that. I would not have known that, like, oh, that's a Hardesty that's in that truck. Right. Really? What? Who is that for?
What's the next Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie? He steals one of those, like, big things that they use to cut down, like, giant trees. It's like a big chainsaw tractor. You know what I'm talking about? And then he just drives down the streets in Texas, killing everyone with his chainsaw tractor thing.
I thought you were talking about those. I know you've seen those videos of the guys that operate like the string of chainsaw blades that they use to like clear trees that are next to power lines. And they're just rolling it up and down like several hundred yards of tree line, like driving that down some kind of residential street.
Is it like a town fair? Just drive it through.
That's
a real chainsaw massacre.
That's something I'm surprised that's not been done yet. Like, they've done the thing of bringing Jason out of Crystal Lake. I'm really surprised nobody has yet been like, what if we take Leatherface out of Texas?
Well, and this movie was just called Leatherface, so you have that option. When it's called Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you are stuck. But if you know...
Not particularly, because they put chainsaw in a lot of those titles, and we hardly get a lot of chainsaws in some of them movies. You go back to 4, we don't get a goddamn thing involving a chainsaw, except some chasing.
Yeah.
Once.
That's not enough, Dad.
It's not, so I think you could just go anywhere at all, which proves to be the case when we get to the next one. There's like, well, you can just pick and choose anywhere. You could take anything and run with that. Take a side character. Let's give us the whole origins or the whatever the hell happened the day before with Nubbins in the original. Give us the origins of Franklin. Give us more Hardesty Sawyer battles in the Old West. Go really, really far in a prequel territory.
We need a prequel where Bill Moseley plays Drayton because he does a good job, and we just have Drayton starting the gas station and starting the barbecue. Like, that's because we always ignore the cannibalism. Everybody, if you say Texas Chainsaw Massacre, everyone goes, they're cannibals. And we ignore that in so many entries in this franchise. It would be nice to, I mean, they tried it with the beginning, you know, like, we're going to eat and people are going to remember us. But, like,
yeah, they give a reason why they're cannibals, which was a nice thing. But yeah,
we need like well, why'd you decide to sell it to people? Because you're obviously sadistic. You know what I mean? That is a serial killer thing, like 101, Jeffrey Dahmer, you know, giving his neighbors burgers made out of fucking people. Like, have some of this sausage or whatever. It's just because, you know, they'll never find out until he gets caught that they ate people. So it's just for him to go, gotcha. You know, like a real fucking gross. He's sitting at home at night watching TV going, remember that time I made them eat people? Awesome. You know, like, and so, yeah, that's an interesting avenue to explore. Like, what made them go? Because, yeah, if you're gonna kill people to eat for your family, I get it. But what made you go, fuck these other people? You know?
Yeah, I mean, they want to again, we said twice now they went to a prequel and they just kind of stick to Leatherface. Although I believe there's a Verna name used in 3D or somewhere. That Verna Sawyer has come back, or it was a Verner, the 03 group,
Vern Troyer,
the Howlets. I keep wanting to say the Howlets, the Hewitts. But I don't know why they don't ever like go. I guess they kind of did a little bit in this one, because we see the one kid at the birthday celebration in the opening that has the Nubbins, like, not scar, but birthmark on his face.
That's laughing and being all weird, yeah.
Yeah, so it starts out Nubbins is a fat kid who's going to get uber thin. And
so that, going back to your rewatch this week, did you ever assume that the kid at that birthday party that was laughing and chunky was the heavyset kid that they escape with.
Yeah,
Because that's where my brain was the whole time. I'm like, that's him. That's the kid.
Yeah, but I guess not. I guess they separate him. We don't know where the hell Bud backstory is. Is he a Sawyer as well? We don't know. Those are records that are sealed. So where the hell the rest of the family go? Is Vern Anderson getting all of them back? Because in theory, all of them should have been taken and separated and given new names. But apparently, only so far away from town. Like, we're gonna separate them, but only by about maybe 45 minutes.
So here's something interesting. You and I, we love Halloween Kills. Not a lot of people like Halloween Kills. It's really split down the middle. But something Halloween Kills did that, I mean, obviously it came after this movie, but something that Kills did that this movie could have done is there's a certain point in the movie where, there's the news broadcast about the escaped convicts, and it's in the background, but when we cut to it, there's stuff obscuring the TV, so you don't necessarily see what Michael Myers looks like who has escaped, which is why the townsfolk mistake the heavyset guy for Michael and do their vigilante justice, crazy riot. So that would have been a neat avenue to explore of, these kids' mug shots or like a news broadcast of some sort.
I feel it would have been heavy-duty radio, because like radio would have been
the thing in the 50s,
yeah, the means of communication and entertainment. So it would have been all about the news bulletins on the radio.
Yeah, or, I mean, at the very least, like old school, newspaper.
Oh, the spinning newspaper hot off the presses.
1930s noir films, like...
Dirt people escape from asylum. on the loose.
Lock your doors, lock your windows. Call Dick Tracy.
Dirt's on the loose.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, we could have, at some point in the film, like, maybe a scene before the heavyset dude gets killed, let us see or hear some form of news that is open to interpretation about who is who. And, that aids in that reveal. It doesn't have to give us the reveal, because that's part of the fun is, Swerve Bro got him, this guy's Leatherface. But, like, we need some more stuff. We need some more breadcrumbs. Because you and I both were hook, line, and sinker. The fat guy's Leatherface. That's just how it is. The fat guy's Leatherface. And we're following this movie, waiting for him to become Leatherface. Give us some more breadcrumbs. Make it interesting if you're going to Swerve Bro us in the last 17 minutes of the movie, is all I'm saying.
I'm saying it's not swerve us, just keep it as you would think it's going to go.
You said 2017 was when this came out?
2017, made in 2015.
Yeah, okay, so even 2015 is a little late for that kind of Saw, last real reveal, last real or last minute.
Shyamalaning.
Yeah, because Shyamalan was, in the 90s was Sixth Sense, and then, but yeah, Saw was like...
and all that, yeah.
Saw was like 05 to present, but yeah, it'd been done far too many times. And I don't know that a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie needs that. What happened with Friday? What happened with Friday 5? There's so many people who were all on board until they're like, it was a paramedic, and then people are like, fuck this movie, and yeah, Leatherface doesn't need that either.
I get more reasons why Roy decides to do what he does as opposed to Jebediah Sawyer deciding to take his route.
Because our justification for that is the Roy film is literally just Friday the 13th Part 1 done again with, late night Cinemax sleaze.
Yeah.
So that's all it is just Part 1 again with way more titties. This movie...
It feels like a first draft.
It really does.
It feels like this needs 2 more drafts before it's like, all right, now we're done.
Yeah, now it's making sense. Because it does. It spends a whole lot of time on weird stuff. I understand, like, the catalyst for this movie is Stephen Dorff is like out for blood against this family, and that's should be the main focus. But the main focus keeps like shifting to the two crazy, the skinhead and the blonde girl. Like it's having a hard time like planting its feet on the ground.
And yeah, I remember when we was getting to the trailer sequence where they hide out there, like, oh, we're in necromantic now. And I can totally see why he wants to just, like, how about you just get on all fours and bend over? And you look fine from this angle. But and I don't know what it is, because it's all stuff that is just fine in our wheelhouse, like boobs time. Yeah, that's what we're supposed to get. Or some butts, some the nudity time. But I don't know why in this movie, that sequence and the blowjob sequence in the asylum, like, I'm like, what? Who is this here for? Who needs this anymore? And we don't even see anything. Which I'm like, if you're gonna go for it, then fuck it, show it to me.
Yeah, show me your butthole. No, go.
just like there's a whole ride going on. Just show me a full-on blowjob sequence right there. It's like, that's different. I ain't seen that before. Like, go ahead and go for that. But even when they're introducing a corpse into the sex act, like, that's already been done in necromantic. Like, it's commonplace now. That has 2 movies. There's 2 sequels off that. Like, that's not even a brand new thing.
Nah, but for casuals, they'd be like, ooh, gross, weird. You know, we're forged in the fire, man.
True, but I'm like, I really want to know, what is the percentage of casual fans that are getting to this movie?
Yeah, that's true. Feels like a made for sci-fi almost. Like
I think it was like the bit I was looking up, that it was made for like direct TV. Like, it was a direct TV movie that you still had to, I think, buy or rent. But that's where it went to after it sat for 2 years on the shelf.
See, I think I remember something about that too. Like, not the direct TV thing, but when it sat. Because I think it was a test audience thing, right? Or something where it was like, needs some work. So they went and, did they do reshoots in that 2 years?
I have no idea what they did in that 2 years, but it doesn't seem like they did anything where they should have done a lot more.
Yeah.
Like 2 years. 2 years you could do a lot of, like, seeing where the holes are.
Yeah, punching up.
And it's hard to believe. I think it was a tag team that directed this movie, like 2, I think, French guys, and I think they did another movie called Inside, which I have no idea what that is. I've never seen it. I'm sure you've heard of it.
Yeah, that's takes place on Christmas, and it's that's a hardcore movie. That's an awesome movie.
Okay,
kind of shocked
these guys did that.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked that this is theirs, to be honest with you. Inside is really good. I'll have to let you borrow it. I'm sure your wife has seen it, because it's on a bunch of lists of like hardcore movies. I'd put it up there, you know, like High Tension or something. It's pretty gnarly.
She hates High Tension. I don't know why
she hates I think she hates the twist, because the twist is dumb as hell. But the gore in High Tension is outstanding. And in this movie, it's Inside, it's a home invasion movie. Like a one-on-one home invasion movie. You know, person who lives in the house, bad guy. And it's intense, dude. And nasty.
Well,
but this one isn't.
No, I think the goriest scene is, the dead cow that they decide to hide in to throw off the scent of the dogs that are after them. They got the bloodhounds chasing them. And also, that unbelievable sequence that all 3 would fit in that goddamn cow.
Another kind of Rob Zombie-esque throwback that I don't think you or I are massive fans of. I know you don't like the Rob Zombie Halloween, and that's fine, because I do, but you and I both can agree, when you put a big mask on a little kid, it looks dumb as hell.
It's hilarious. It is hilarious,
and that's where I disagree with Rob, because when you watch the making of Halloween, he's like, something really kind of creepy about like a little kid wearing a grown-up's mask. And nope, false. Don't like it. It looks stupid. It's And in this movie, we get that kid wearing the whole, like, cow head. And it's... Both times that I've seen this movie, I laugh out loud at how stupid that looks. Because it's like a tall, skinny cow head, too. Like, it's dumb as fuck.
I don't think I have any opinion on it. The regular a regular mask, yeah, that looks silly as shit. But the cow head, I'm just like, all right. Which I think was my opinion on a lot of things that happened in this movie. Is just kind of like, all right. Which is the weird thing about this is sat and rewatched it. I'm like, I have nothing. Like, I don't feel anything.
And also, so going back to the 03 remake and the beginning, when, you know, a few weeks ago when we talked about those movies, we were talking about how they're fine, but they're not like fun. You know, there's no fun. Compare those movies to this movie. Those movies are a shitload of fun. This movie somehow has no fun, like none.
No,
ever.
You just kind of watch it like you're reading a book.
Yeah.
Your face doesn't really change too many expressions. And I was trying, like, and yeah, like I said earlier, the wife was casually watching with, and she at one point was like, I can see why I didn't remember anything about this movie because it is boring.
It's super forgettable.
I don't like it. Like, it's got memorable stuff to it, but nothing like really does anything for us. And I'm like, I don't know, is that just us? Are we just too desensitized to it? That's where I go back to. I'd really like to know what in the world a casual person would think if you threw this on that is not a TCM fan or follower, or even just a casual horror movie fan. Like, what would the reaction be? Would it be... It'd probably be a lot heavier and a lot more impactful than us.
Yeah, I also think the namesake doesn't help it. If it was called anything, if, you know, whatever you said, dirt people. If you just called it dirt people, it probably would have sold less, but I think the people that bought it would be like, oh, and not be as disappointed. I think the disappointment is
fine with that, actually.
Yeah, is built in. The disappointment is built in because it's Leatherface, man. Give me Leatherface. Let's go Leatherface. And
there's no way on earth I believe this kid is going to grow into Gunnar Hansen.
Yeah, at all.
Ever.
Which the other film with the namesake Leatherface gives us a boatload of Leatherface. Also a road movie, way more fun.
The most fun in the franchise. Hands down.
And there's M16s.
Yeah. Ken Foray. Ken Force himself is in that. This is just, it's there. And that's, that's probably the Achilles heel, is just the title of the movie. If you name this anything else, we'd probably like, it's got some TCM vibes at the end of it there, but
yeah, or like,
this is all right, but I guess it's weird that it handicaps it just by the title.
It's absolutely, it's the albatross on its neck or whatever you would say, but it's...
Yeah, that's weird. I just realized, I was like, man, if we just change that title, like, would it be a better movie? Would I have liked it more?
So, yeah, because...
Maybe.
If we were watching it and it wasn't a Texas Chainsaw Massacre film, the very beginning with the birthday sequence, we'd have been like, wow, that feels like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I showed you the movie, the Loved Ones? Lovely Ones, where the girl is like, her and her dad are crazy.
Yeah.
The prom one.
Yeah, I think we watched that here.
Yeah, it's an awesome movie. Why I'm butchering the name.
The Loved Ones.
The Loved Ones. But if that was Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Carrie 4.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the reimagining. You know, like how you have Omen 4 and it's a girl instead of Damien.
Yeah.
Like, if it was that, we would have went, I don't give a fuck. But because it is what it is and it has its own title, when they're at the dinner table and she's torturing him, we're like, man, that feels like Texas Chainsaw. Like, that's a clear homage to Texas Chainsaw. But again, if it was called Leatherface or, Miss Leatherface or some shit, we'd be like, fuck this movie. It's just how it is.
Yeah. So in essence, this is an all right movie. Just give it a different title, and I'm really curious if anyone watches it that's not a TCM fan, what they would think about it. But yeah, it's just there.
It's a middle of the road, just okay movie. Again, feels like you said, made for DirecTV. So yeah, feels like a.
Here's a more interesting question. Since I've broken you on Halloween of that mentality, you have to own every single one. After seeing it twice now, if this was borrowed, if I loaned you this movie, and I'm like, all right, I'm taking it back now, would you be compelled to buy it? And if so, what would be your price tag on it?
Oh, I probably wouldn't buy it now that I've seen it, but I'd go up to like $3, I guess. You know what I mean?
DVD.
Yeah, you pick that up used at a video game store or whatever. Like
it's probably the only way you can pick it up now. I don't think any new presses are done on this.
I don't think so. But, which is another weird thing, right? Like, this movie, just like every movie we cover, gets kind of lost to time and then becomes this, not a classic, but becomes this thing that's hard to find, sought after, which that's strange. That's strange to me. That somewhere down the road, some new, once we're dead and gone, there'll be like some new boutique label that's putting out retro films, and there'll be like a 4-disc, holy shit, awesome
2017's
edition.
Leatherface. We got Steven Dorff on his deathbed, and like, I've done Blade and I've done The Gate, and I was in that Limp Bizkit Rollin' video, but my true passion project was Leatherface in 2017.
Yeah, that's weird to me. It's weird to think that
the Shout Factory, Scream Factory may one day get a hold of this, and they're like, we're putting out the definitive edition.
Yeah.
Finally! Someone is going to be
16K fucking...
I'm in the movie? I am Steven Dorff.
Yeah, it'll be like that hologram game from Jason X. You'll just be like standing in it.
Oh, we definitely need to reboot.
We do.
Smell-o-vision.
I wish I had more positive things to say about this movie, dude. It's not for me. I mean, 2 viewings over the course of 5 years, and
it can be a good standalone. You definitely don't have to feel you have to watch anything else before or after to get what you get out of it. Like, it's all gonna be there, and it's done. Yeah, it's just there.
Yeah,
I don't know how else to say it. It's a first draft of maybe 2 more drafts, and I think this might be. It might have something, but maybe a longer runtime and switching some perspective on characters, maybe change some character origins and things like that. But it's like just as is, like, it's just there.
So before we move on to the next segment, let me just pose this hypothetical question to you. Let's say, it's back in the day when we didn't have streaming, we didn't have fast internet, and let's say we've got 2 movie channels. We've got like HBO and Cinemax, and it's like 9:30 at night, and you see Leatherface is coming on, and
option B.
Yeah, you start watching it. Do you finish it and be, are you dubbing this to a tape and keeping it, or are you gonna go watch HBO, like change the channel?
Oh, even before you finish, like option B, whatever's on the other one is.
All right, well, there you have it.
It's like the Married with Children thing, like pop quiz, Al. Who do you want to spend your evening with? A, your wife, or B?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, like no.
So there, that's saying something, because if we take it back to the primitive days of when we were growing up, and that's the era of take what you can get and enjoy it. Where if you rented a movie, you damn well better watch it a couple times before you take it back.
It'd probably be those 2 times, and that's it. It's definitely It's probably the furthest thing from the Baby Driver rule. I think we've got Baby Driver rule if we're gonna watch it twice within a week's time span. That's really good. I think we need to imply the 2017 Leatherface rule of this came out in 2017 and we've watched it a total of 2 times. And I've looked at it on the shelf every once in a great while, and I've never been like, let's do that again.
Today's the day.
Even with the like caveat that I have of the wife being like, now which one is that? I was like, that's the one you never remember. And even with that being said, she's like, I don't want to watch it.
Well, if I don't remember it, it must not be worth remembering. She at least remembers Next Generation for being terrible. So
yeah, there's something
it
there about
a
that.
response.
Yeah, there's a response from that. This is just benign. This is paint drying. There's this, and it's weird that a movie where there's a 3-way with a corpse in it that you could say that.
Well, I kind of feel that same way about the necromantic movies. Like,
I mean, yeah, they're not good, but I mean, that's gonna at least you're gonna get a response from people with that.
Yeah, you want to watch necromantic? No, like you
want to watch Leatherface? So, oh yeah, like no, the 2017 one. Which one is that?
Is that the 3D one? No,
that's literally the like. Are they? Like, which one is that? It's like, that's Leatherface. Like, the good one? No, not the good one. Oh, that the 3D one? No, not the 3D one. Are they Sawyers or Hewitts? Like, it's back to being... So, never mind. Let's just watch something else. I'm just leaving the franchise behind now. Let's just go on to something else.
We're watching Wayne's World instead.
I'm going to put in Wayne's World 2. Fuck you.
All right. Well, I'm done.
That's not the point, though. The point is, there's... somebody out there. There's several somebodies out there who did not have a problem taking a stance and saying, this is bad, movie bad, and here's why. It's time for those Amazon 1-star reviews.
Hated it. So since we bashed this, are there any 5-star reviews? I would be...
I can look. When I'm
do
done
your ones,
with the
and
ones.
then do them ones, and then I'm just so curious to see if there's one person on the planet who was like, you know what, this movie made me love horror. I'm now a director, a writer. Like, sure, I figured if those guys could do it, anybody could.
Gee. This is just a hell of a name, Trelfaz Belcht. Trelfaz Belcht. February 8, 2018, 1 star. I would rather be a victim of Leatherface than to watch this again. This is awful. The backstory of Leatherface should be a lot better than this lame and unimaginative attempt. There isn't even any creepiness to it. It's your typical modern B-movie horror flick. The guy in this movie that turns out to be Leatherface would not turn out to be Leatherface. Hey, I'm a nice guy until bad stuff happens. Now I'm suddenly the world's most deranged necromancer.
True.
Not a necromancer. He does not have power over the dead.
They're bringing him back.
You can't just throw around necromancer willy-nilly around me.
Necrophile?
Necrophile? Possibly.
Maybe. Yeah, possibly.
He's not opposed to drinking hard alcohol moonshine while other people are tagging a corpse. But he does not have power over the dead. Learn your terminology of what a necromancer is. Not good enough to even be a classic, and on the other hand, it is not campy enough to be a classic. That is well said there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't post too many bad reviews. I really hated this movie. It doesn't count. Someone should make a completely different movie that has nothing to do with this one and tell the backstory of Mr. Face. They did. It happened a few years ago. So This is the second prequel. All right, Brian O.
Just Mr. Face.
Mr. Face. That I would be like, go on, tell me more. If that's your title, Mr. Face.
Yeah.
If you titled this movie Mr. Face, I probably might be more interested.
There it is!
Mr. Face.
So find us in our Discord and someone make us a super cool Mr. Face cover.
Make exit, please.
We'll stop calling this Leatherface.
I definitely would love to differentiate it besides just the years. Like, Leatherface or Mr. Face.
Then you could totally dupe your wife. Like, you want to watch Mr. Face? What's that? So, like, they escape from mental hospital.
I just show it every number of years, just saying a different title because she never remembers it. She's like, this is like that Mr. Face movie you showed me a couple years ago. No, this one's just called Leatherman.
Ah, but it is.
This is called Dirt People. Cook-a-doo-doo-doo.
Cook-a-doo-doo-doo. Yeah, make it black and white and be like, this is from the 40s.
Oh, we're gonna watch the black and chrome edition of Mr. Face.
That guy looks like Steven Dorff. It isn't, though.
It's his 1950s Mad Max movie with the guy from the Rollin' video in it. You'll like it.
You'll like it.
You'll like it. Brian O. on April 22nd, 2021. This movie is terrible. No sense, no relevance. I don't like anything about this movie. It had nothing to do with Leatherface series as advertised. A waste of time. Wish I could get my money back. Do not rent this movie. It has fallen short of even being entertaining in any sort. Terrible is the only way I would describe it.
That's also pretty spot on.
Beetle Jeff 69. I'm sure that was his first attempt at a username and it just went right on through.
Beetle Jeff.
69, 69, 69. January 10th, 2022. 1 star, brainless. Extremely horrible. No point to the flick. Just violence for violence sake. A Devil's Rejects copy. Yeah. In the end, I saw coming a mile away.
Well, that
Cool.
guy's smarter than us, because I was really like, it's the fat kid.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I thought the same thing, even though it's right on the cover. It's very much a super thin kid carrying a chainsaw. But, all right. Richard on October 13th, 2019. 1 star, Leatherface? Everything about Leatherface. He separates it every time.
Oh, nice.
Everything about Leatherface, including his backstory, is completely thrown away in this movie as a Leatherface. Fits no description and completely throws away everything that made him a terrifying killer. This movie ruined the famous Leatherface killer, and I truly regret wasting my money on this movie.
Sidebar, just throwing this out there. The spacing of leather and face. Also, I hate when people space tape head. He is tape head, one word. And Remix, if you're listening to this, he set up the IMDb for the short film, and he was like, it has a space. I'm like, it doesn't have a space. It's like Leatherface. And I used that as the, like, I was like, this is what it is. Tapehead is one word. So, yeah, and I tried to appeal it on IMDb. Nope, that's just the title now. Tape, space, head.
See, when I read that this guy says it, I feel like it's that Bret Hart promo he's doing on Goldberg where he refuses to call Goldberg. He just says, and you know, that guy, Bill Goldberg, I'm in the match tonight with Bill Goldberg. Just makes a point to keep saying Bill Goldberg as opposed to just Goldberg. Like, just a weird, subtle, like, way to take a jab.
Yeah.
But saying a whole name, but alright. SRK Lop 79. September 28th, 2018. 1 star. Movie wasn't good and the CD kept skipping. Movie wasn't good and it didn't help that the Blu-ray had all kinds of flaws and did not play correctly. Had to restart it 3 times.
3, count them, 3
times.
I'm telling you.
He restarted this movie more times than we've watched it.
I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. If my DVD skips, I'm good. That's the gods of cinema telling me pick something else.
Combined, we've watched this movie 1 time more than he restarted it.
Wowza.
Yeah. Jeremy, November 12th, 2017. 1 star, truly terrible and gross AF.
Oh, it must be this corpse sex.
Truly terrible and gross AF. And are Southern accents really that hard to fake? Lily Taylor is usually great. Lily Taylor, that was her name. But even she can't do it right. Lots of gross necrophilia stuff. 3 people found that helpful.
Yeah. Well, look.
I like how you call
that,
that like it's going to be the necrophilia that he finds gross.
Yeah, absolutely. The Southern accent, man, ain't that hard. You just kind of put a little drawl in your voice right there, and then
Twang it up.
Yeah, you twang it up, and some kind of talk about the back of your throat a little bit there. And yeah, it ain't that tough.
Rondell Del Branch, January 30th, 2018. 1 star, bad, but in a bad way.
That's good.
This movie was cringy, not cringy in a scary way, but in a bad way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just didn't resonate with people, man. We're not alone. We've given it 4 shots.
Where you were combining it and like, I'm going to include his 2 shots with my 2 shots. So we watched it 4 times.
Next
and we're
time
talking
I
about
visit,
it, so this is the 5th.
We're going to watch it, you and me together in the same room, and we're going to take 4 shots.
And then record a video commentary for it.
Yes. I think that's,
There'll be your way to watch it in the future right there.
Inebriated is the preferred method of watch.
I've got plenty of that peanut butter whiskey, so 4 shots will be nice and easy to get down for each of us.
And then it'll come right back up.
Maybe a gummy. Maybe like take a gummy before, like an hour beforehand too. That'll just add to it.
You'll just be melted into the couch.
Melted, but I mean I'm not going anywhere at that point, so I'm gonna find something funny about it. Don Pulliam, October 15th, 2019, 1 star. I don't like it. For son.
What?
I don't like it. That's her title. Her description is for son.
Oh, she bought it for her son.
Sure.
Gotcha. Well,
your interpretation's as good as mine on what that means. For son.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter if you like it because it's for your son. So
maybe the son didn't like it either.
Maybe
but he's only 3. He don't know how to use the Amazon yet, so I had to jump on and do it for him.
Baby's first Leatherface.
Yes.
First man, whatever we...
Face. Mr. Face. Baby's first Mr. Face. Baby Mr. Face. There you go. That's what I'll title it the second time around. You watch Mr. Face? No, this is Baby Mr. Face.
No, try again.
Heather on January 24th, 2019. 1 star. Bad film. Terrible movie.
Those are the same things.
Bad move. Terrible movie. Bad film. Terrible movie. Ortega La Trobe. Sounds like a bullfighter. Ortega La Trobe.
Undefeated.
Olé. November 28, 2018, 1 star. This film is junk. I dislike this movie. Unnecessary.
I dislike this movie. You know, I don't even know you, and I dislike you already.
This I like because this is the first time I've ever... This is the last 1 star, but this is the only one I've ever read where someone didn't sugarcoat it or use alternative language.
Oh,
but
nice.
This is from Toast.
We're going to get shadow banned because of Toast.
March 23rd, 2020, 1 star. It's shit. That's his title, is It's Shit.
Shite.
Not with the $sign or, anything edited out. He literally just titled it, It's Shit. One of the worst movies in this bloated franchise. It's so boring, cliche, and bland. It relies heavily on gore and reference to the first movie to satisfy viewers. Satisfies in quotes. This film has the most kills compared to previous remakes. This film used sound and amazing shots when they killed the characters, which makes it so memorable in comparison to this pile of crap. Lol. It's a lame excuse of a movie filled with one-dimensional characters with terrible dialogue that are just walking and walking. Why do prequels and remakes have to expose so much unnecessary plot that doesn't need to be over-explained? It's so annoying. People are convincing themselves and others that this is a masterpiece? Lol. Corny.
Just walking and walking.
Walking and walking. I like that you can jam 2 lols into a review for this movie. Good work, Toast. It's shit.
He did it for the lulz, or whatever the fuck they say.
Alright, so I'm going to look now to find a 5 star.
Oh boy. Good luck, sir.
This is a 4.3 out of 5 star rated movie.
False. That's a lie.
6,033 global ratings, overwhelmingly 66% in the 5 star ratings.
I don't believe you.
Well, Renee on January 24th, 2023 says 5 stars. Loved! Officially my new favorite horror movie.
Wow. Oh. All right, Renee.
Bruh, lol. January 30th, 2023, 5 stars. Great origin story. Movie is fire.
Dude, the use of bruh and the use of fire. Like, I used to say fire until about a year ago when all of a sudden people would be like, bruh, that's fire, bruh. that is so fire, and I'm like, I'm gonna kill this entire generation.
That's why we made. That's why we made our own buzzword sits.
Yeah, this movie does not sit, but it does sit on my shelf, which is a different type of sit.
One more of these from Michael-Shane, November 13, 2017, 5 stars. Yes! This movie was sick as fuck! Being a Texas Chainsaw fan, I've never really disliked any of the films in the franchise. Ugh. Before, because I grew up on them and will watch any of them. But this one, oh man! As far as prequels or Texas Chainsaw movies go, this one is now at the top of my list. I highly recommend this movie to any Texas Chainsaw fan or horror fan in general. I'm honestly floored.
Hey man, different strokes for different folks. That's really cool to hear someone who likes it that much. I knew there had to be some people.
They're out there, and we're definitely in the minority.
You know, but also, I'm gonna, just keep beating the corpse over the head with the hammer. But like, we're old, man. We are a completely different generation, and there's certain things we expect, and sometimes we're not ready for the changing of the guard. It's like when your parents would be like, whatever that music you're listening to is not good, and
we're like,
your music's not good.
We fear change.
Yeah, we do. We fear change. Which is why I still listen to the music I listened to when I was a teenager, and I'm almost 40.
Oh, yeah. That hit like at least a good decade and change ago. Like, I couldn't... You put a gun or chainsaw to my head and, like, name the top 10 pop songs in the last decade. I couldn't tell you a single one. Not one.
Yep.
I don't even know any artist names that are like that are out right now, other than stuff that like Taylor Swift. But I couldn't tell you a single song.
Yeah, and that's only because that's like crammed down your throat, where she's like in commercials, so you can't like escape.
But I know her name, I know her name, but I still don't know a single goddamn song.
Yeah, that's fine. You don't need to. I mean, we're old heads, man. We like what we like. We talk how we talk. We are who we are. And
we don't go outside. We stay indoors.
Or stay indoors.
I stay in the doors. But look what your brother did to the door.
That motherfucker. But yeah, man, I'm glad people are liking it, because at least when that happens, we get more films. We didn't need another film following this one, so I'm glad. I'm glad we got.
But we got something.
Yeah.
It took another few years, but we got something, and I am definitely curious as to what in the world could be next.
Yeah.
Or how long it'll take to get there.
It won't take long, man. Unless it's a direct to Netflix again, because neither of us have Netflix.
Streaming is king, so it'll be on one of them. We'll see where the rights end up, because I don't know where the rights have got to be a fucking madhouse all over the place. Probably worse than the Evil Dead. Like, you're here, they're there, they're everywhere.
Mm-hmm. So half of it's owned by the mob. Like,
yeah, like if Shudder gets a hold of it, I would think we're gonna be in all right hands.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll see. But since we're done with that segment, Evil, what does that mean?
It's time to not queue up the Motorhead. Time to queue up me. It's time to play the game.
Time to play the game. Time to play the game. It's all about the game and how you play it. Listen to me, no hillbilly's gonna ruin my special night. You ready for your present? You know you're my special boy. Come on, Chad, here you go.
They force him to chainsaw hitchhiker
poacher or whatever.
Yeah. Like, happy birthday, murder. Now you're one of us. One of us. But that's right. It's time to play the game. And if you're new here, welcome. But you're probably scratching your head asking yourself, what is the game? Well, the game is a deep cut in and of itself, where you gotta pick a prop from the movie that we are covering, but it can't be a well-known prop. So since we're covering Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2015/2017. I'm gonna go ahead and say,
what the hell can you take? Even the
can't-
chainsaw can be almost a deep cut.
yeah, well, we'll say the chainsaw, and we'll just say the mask at the end of the film are low-hanging fruit because they're the only fucking things relating to Leatherface in this movie, so you can't have them. Pick something else.
I do wish that. I do wish we had a better, like, give me a full-on shot of what the first mask looks like. We get, like, a backlit shot of him putting it on and, like, a real good close-up, but we don't get a good, clean look at it, which I kind of wanted to see. Whatever.
Why couldn't we get it? It's a text. Okay, yeah, either way.
It's called Leatherface. He puts it on and credits.
I'm gonna get angry. Mike, yeah. Boy, does this movie...
So what's your
Okay.
prop? What do you want to take home and have forever in your collection?
Well, okay, so I think we're probably both going to do the exact same thing because we apparently both of us have an affinity for it. I just want the cow carcass.
Yep. That's exactly what I had. I want to see if I can fit in that fucking thing.
Yeah, like a fucking tauntaun.
I'm gonna come out like Ace Ventura, just like
Yeah, I was leaning into Star Wars territory, which I hate myself for even knowing that. Cut open the tauntaun so you don't flash freeze or whatever.
I
But
thought they smell bad on the outside.
the other prop, if I had to take something, so let's say you beat me to the punch and you got the cow.
Let's both pick alternatives. So we both want the cow prop. So what's your alternative one?
Is the corpse dummy that they bone.
Oh,
They're the only two things in this movie where I'm like, I could get some use out of those. You can always use a good corpse prop, and apparently you and I are just going around collecting animal carcasses from films.
yeah, they're funny. I don't know. I'll take the doctor's dead body prop when he's got his face smashed through the glass and his corpse is still there the next day. I'm assuming that's a dummy. I'm guessing they didn't dress him up and have him just lay there like that. If not, then give me one of the shock treatment like buzzers they put on Bud's noggin.
You could just lie and say it's from House on Haunted Hill.
Yeah, but that's my second or third string. If I don't get my giant cow carcass, I can lay as a blanket over me. Let's take it to bed and sleep. Curl up with the moo.
Go camping and just take that. Like it's your blanket and tent.
Yeah, the camera's gonna be like, "Ugh, what the fuck is going on here?"
It's like a dead cow laying next to a campfire.
Yeah, like goddamn Bigfoot must be in these woods. He slaughtered this cow and just crawl up underneath it. Do I need a ticket for this?
If we have all these dead cow props, we could totally make an alien movie because they always say like aliens mutilate livestock.
Oh yeah, because this is I think this is my third dead cow prop I'm taking from. I've taken one from
Halloween 2.
Halloween 2, and I took one from the prequel for Texas Chainsaw. So yeah, I'm on 3 dead cow props. I'm just gonna have a slaughterhouse in the front yard.
Yeah, I want some of those.
Well, shit, now I can't stop. I'm on a motif now. I got to keep it going.
Well, and for anybody listening who doesn't know why this is this way, there's a great YouTube video that Evil did on our YouTube channel, 3B Video. That's Evil Dead Inc.'s top 5 dead dog props. Because when Evil and I first became friends, we somehow, some way, got onto this conversation about seeing, way worse dead dog props. Like, what movies have the worst dead dog props? What ones have good ones? And it just kind of became our thing. Like,
and ironically, it was Leatherface, not this one, but the other one, is where I think that definitely a lot of that stemmed from, because that wolf or whatever it is they throw on the hood of William Butler's car, like, we hit another animal, no, we threw it at us, like, that looks like shit.
That's, yeah. Oddly enough, it was probably real. It was probably like a super dried out taxidermied animal, and it looks like shit. But
I think it looked like something they bought from Rainforest Cafe and just put some rocks in it so it had some weight and just throw it out a window.
I don't know what Rainforest Cafe is, but sure.
Oh, it used to be it was a restaurant you could eat at, but it was decked out like a rainforest, like rainforest style, like decor, like fake plants and like animatronic rainforest animals kind of scattered throughout. And it would just sound like you're in a jungle the whole time you're eating, and very elaborate menu. It's definitely been out for probably 15 plus years, but I think one was in St. Louis, the one I went to. It was somewhere close, but it was just a themed restaurant.
Nice.
Buy a bunch of stuffed animals from it. Overly expensive. Can't imagine why it burnt out.
Like going to the zoo and going to their gift shop and buying like a
essentially imagine
$50
like a
manatee.
Imagine a zoo gift shop that had a restaurant attached to it. That's what this is, or what it was.
Nice. Yeah, I don't. But that's awesome, dude.
All right, yeah.
Crap. Yeah.
So that's Leatherface 2017. Are you ready? Are you ready to take a break for a little while, but return to the Netflix special, Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Is this Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Isn't that it's what it's called again?
Yeah, it doesn't have a the.
The.
It's just Texas Chainsaw. That's how many times we've rebooted this movie. We are omitting the, or we are omitting massacre. Like, but we're keeping it the same. You know what I mean? Like, we're just omitting single words to make it a different movie.
We're doing that, but we're doing something that's also they've done before, and they're really like, they saw what the Halloween trilogy did, and they're like, hold my beer, we can do that too. So that's what's coming next, is we're gonna get the conclusion of the Hardesty Sawyer battle, exclusively on Netflix.
Or
but that's
Brazil.
in 2 weeks. Yeah, only if you're a pirate in Brazil.
Yeah, so I'm glad this is over, dude. But I suppose we should probably get going, because after all, there's a lot of movies out there and somebody's got to watch them. So why not us, right?
You messed with the wrong family.